All right, let's dive deep inside our own bodies, into a world that's in a state of constant, invisible war. We're going to explore the immune system, but forget the complicated textbooks. Instead, I want you to picture it as this incredible, living fortress that is defending you right now, at this very moment.
I mean, really think about that. Every single breath you take, everything you touch, everything you eat, you're being bombarded by a whole universe of bacteria, viruses, and other microscopic invaders. So how on earth are we not just constantly sick? Well, it's all thanks to a silent, vigilant army that literally never sleeps.
So to really wrap our heads around this incredible army, we're going to use one single idea for this entire explainer. Just imagine your body is a kingdom, a fortress, and it is permanently under siege from outside threats. And the immune system, that's its entire defense force.
So what exactly is this defense force? Well, at its core, it's this incredibly complex network of cells, tissues, and organs. In our fortress analogy, this is the whole shebang. It's the outer walls, the frontline guards, the spies, the generals, even the weapons factories, all working in concert to protect the kingdom.
You know, every fortress worth its salt has its first line of defense, right? You've got the high walls, maybe a moat, and of course the guards at the gate who are ready for absolutely anything. Well, in our body, we call this the innate immune system. Now, the two things you got to remember here are nonspecific and no memory. What that means is these frontline guards, they don't care what the invader is. If it doesn't have the secret password to be in the kingdom, it's a threat, period. But, and this is key, they don't learn. They'll fight the same bad guy the exact same way every single time. It's fast, it's brutal, and it is always on.
And you can see how these pieces map perfectly to our fortress. Your skin and mucous membranes, those are the literal walls. The guards are these amazing cells called phagocytes, which act just like Pac-Man, literally chasing down and eating invaders. Then you've got the natural killer cells. Think of them as the internal sentinels patrolling for traitors, like our own cells that have gone rogue and become cancerous. And that redness and swelling we call inflammation, that's just the kingdom's alarm system blaring, letting everyone know a battle is going down.
Okay, so here's the big takeaway. Our kingdom has two totally distinct branches of the military. We've just met the general guards of the innate system. They're always on the job. But what happens when an enemy is just too strong or too sneaky for them? Well, that's when the kingdom calls in the elite unit, the adaptive special forces.
Now, these are not your average everyday guards. This is the highly trained, super intelligent branch of your immune system. They're the strategists, the weapons designers, and, most importantly, the memory keepers of the entire kingdom.
And this right here is the absolute game changer. Unlike the innate system, the adaptive system learns. After it fights an enemy one time, it creates a detailed file, a memory of it. It's the whole reason you usually only get something like chickenpox once. The second time that virus dares to show its face, the special forces are already waiting for it, and they wipe it out before you even know you're sick. This, by the way, is the exact principle that makes vaccines work. It's like watching a military operation unfold. A frontline guard spots a major threat it can't handle alone and sounds the alarm. Immediately, the generals, our T cells, are mobilized from their headquarters in the thymus. These T cells are the coordinators. They assess the enemy and activate the weapons engineers, the B cells, which come from the bone marrow. These B cells then get to work designing and mass-producing highly specific weapons, custom-built to take out that one specific enemy. And after the battle is won, the plans are filed away, creating that all-important memory.
So, how do we get these special forces trained up? Well, there are basically two ways. With active immunity, our own army does the learning. It can be a real battle, like getting sick, or it can be a training exercise, like getting a vaccination. Passive immunity is different. Think of it like getting reinforcements from an ally. You're given pre-made defenses, like the antibodies a baby gets from its mother or through a medical injection. You didn't make the weapons, but you can still use them.
Okay, so we've been talking about weapons engineers and battle plans, but what are the actual weapons? What are these custom-built guided missiles that our special forces are deploying?
They're called immunoglobulins, but you definitely know them by their more common name, antibodies. And these things are incredible. They are specialized proteins built by B cells with one and only one job: to hunt down a very specific target, a single type of virus or bacteria, and lock onto it, essentially painting a giant target on its back for destruction.
And just like any good army, you don't use the same weapon for every fight, right? You've got specialists.
IgG is the workhorse, the reliable long-term defense force patrolling all your body fluids. IgM is the SWAT team, the first weapon deployed in any new attack, surging through the blood. IgA is specialized for guard duty at the kingdom's gates. It's concentrated in your saliva and mucosal areas. And then there's IgE. It handles special ops against parasites, but it's also the one that gets a little overzealous and triggers those annoying allergic reactions.
Now, this whole system is just brilliant, but it is also insanely complex. And like any complex system, sometimes things can go horribly, horribly wrong. So let's look at what happens when the fortress's own defenses actually become the problem. So first, you can have immunodeficiency. This is what happens when the fortress itself is just weak. Imagine the walls are crumbling. There aren't enough guards on duty. When the kingdom's defenses are compromised like this, it becomes dangerously vulnerable to even the weakest invaders out there.
Then you've got hypersensitivity, which we all know better as allergies. This is a classic case of the guards being way too jumpy. They mistake a totally harmless visitor, like a piece of pollen, for a life-threatening invader. This triggers a massive, completely unnecessary, and often damaging false alarm throughout the entire kingdom. And finally, we have the most tragic failure of all, autoimmunity. This is nothing short of a civil war. For reasons we're still scrambling to understand, the army completely loses its ability to tell the difference between friend and foe, and the kingdom's own defenders turn on its citizens. The attack comes from within. The results of this friendly fire can be absolutely devastating. In rheumatoid arthritis, the army attacks the kingdom's own infrastructure, the joints. In type 1 diabetes, it systematically destroys the vital cells in the pancreas that produce insulin. With myasthenia gravis, it severs the communication lines between nerves and muscles. In every single case, it's a heartbreaking example of the system getting it wrong.
And yet, despite all the ways it could potentially fail, for the vast majority of us, for the vast majority of the time, this system just works flawlessly. It's a silent, vigilant guardian inside every one of us, making billions of life or death decisions every single second, almost always perfectly distinguishing friend from foe. It's truly amazing.
So that really leaves us with one final and pretty crucial question. We all have this incredible internal fortress working 24/7 to protect us. So now that you know a little more about how it all works, what's the best way for you to maintain its strength and keep the troops in fighting shape?